الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A warm welcome to everyone joining us today. We are so excited to have you here for this live session hosted by the International Open University Student Committee of Sri Lanka. My name is Nazi Nazri and I am a student of uh, Bachelor's of Arts in Islamic Studies, and I'll be your host for this event. Today we are exploring a powerful and relevant topic. Mental health isn't a weakness. We are honored to have with us Dr. Hajara Muhammad Saddam, a licensed clinical psychologist with a PhD in psychology, senior consultant psychologist, and a lecturer at multiple renowned institutions. Her dedication to mental health awareness and breaking stigma has inspired many, and we are thrilled she is here to share her insights with us today. We'll begin with a brief introduction to IOU, followed by Dr. Hajara's talk, and we'll wrap up with an interactive question and answer session. We hope you'll gain valuable knowledge and inspiration from today's discussion, inshallah. Before we begin, just a quick reminder. We are streaming live on YouTube. We encourage you to stay interactive throughout the session. Feel free to share your thoughts and questions in chat. The question and answer session is also open for you to ask questions or share your insights. Now, a little about IOU. The International Open University was founded by renowned Islamic scholar Dr. Bilal Phillips in 2001. IOU provides accredited undergraduate and postgraduate certificates, diplomas and degrees in Islamic studies, Arabic and modern subjects like psychology, economics, business, and education in an Islamic lens. Why choose IOU? Online learning, online e-learning, which makes knowledge accessible at every corner of the world. You get to study at your own pace and at your own study time, which makes it very convenient for busy moms and sisters with other commitments. You can pursue your degree for up to 4 to 8 years. The online system makes it very easy to learn anywhere using your laptop, tablet, or phone. Along with these benefits, you also gain access to authentic Islamic education, as IOU offers a unique approach of combination of Islamic knowledge into modern subjects. IOU offers tuition-free degree programs, ensuring that financial constraints do not hinder your educational aspirations. Courses can range from as little as 25,000 rupees per semester, per term. The affordability by no means affect the credibility of the program. IOU is a licensed online university and has both institutional and program accreditation for its degrees and certificates. So this means you graduate with an accredited degree which is going to help you utilize your skills in good use, inshallah. I'd like to mention a quote by our founder, Dr. Bilal Phillips. The goal of making authentic Islamic knowledge and Islamized modern knowledge readily accessible to the world through the medium of the internet is a noble mission worthy of dedicating and sacrificing all of one's life and all of one's means. Now a bit about our programs. So these are the programs offered currently at IOU. IOU offers a wide range of courses, from psychology, business, and economics to Islamic studies, catering to various levels, from certificate programs to master's degree, allowing students to get both religious and worldly knowledge in a balanced manner, enabling them to contribute meaningfully to their communities. The fall 2025 admissions are open now, so you can browse through the website www.iou.edu.gm to review all the details and check out the latest admission information. And courses, and inshallah, enroll in IOU. You are not only strengthening your connection and relationship with Allah, but you are also learning how to upskill and find professional opportunities to grow as well, inshallah. And IIU has a global community where once you enroll, you can join a diverse student body from over 200 countries. So, what a better opportunity than this to be learning from highly reputed scholars at the comfort of your own home and at an affordable price, which helps you to grow spiritually as well as professionally. I hope everything was clear. And if you still have any questions, you can send your questions in the YouTube live chat. Now, without further delay, let's move on to the main event. Now, to the event at hand. I am honored to introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today's session, Dr. Hajara Muhammad Sada. Dr. Hajara Muhammad Sada is a highly respected personality who has had extensive experience in the field of clinical psychology. She has a PhD in licensed clinical psychology from Sri Lanka, in addition to having worked as a senior psychologist at Amal Counseling in Dubai. She has also worked as a field supervisor at the National Institute of Social Development in Sri Lanka. In addition to her extensive work experience, she is also a lecturer, a motivational speaker, a life coach, and a trainer. It's a privilege to have her with us today, and I'm confident that her lecture will provide us with profound insights and actionable steps to better support the development of emotional intelligence in our students. Without further ado, I will now hand over the session to our speaker, Dr. Hajara Sadda. Dr. Hajara, the floor is yours.
Jazakallah, sister. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Very good evening to all of you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma warzuqna fahma. First of all, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and IOU team, Jazakallah Khair, for inviting me as your guest speaker. So I'm sure that you're going to have a wonderful session with me today, inshallah. So without further delay, let's begin the session. I hope you can hear me well and see me well as well. So I have shared my presentation. So inshallah, we are ready to go. Thanks for the wonderful introduction as well. So I think I don't have to introduce myself again, but still, let me give you a very brief introduction about myself. So I'm Dr. Hajara, clinical psychologist, licensed clinical psychologist. So I have over 15 years of experience in the field of psychology, lecturing and motivation and training as well. I've been practicing as a clinical psychologist, local in Sri Lanka and internationally as well. So I'm ready to share my expertise with you today, and I'm so glad that I'm sharing it with you. So before I begin, I thought let me just check on your mood today. So rather than asking you whether you're fine today, I just thought of asking you in a different way. Let's imagine that our mood um, is equal to a weather pattern. So I would like to know, how do you feel today? You can tell me whether you're feeling sunny, or whether you're feeling foggy, or maybe a little bit rainy, or maybe stormy. So you can tell me, how do you feel today? Um, so you don't have to really judge your feelings. You don't have to tell me whether your feelings are positive or negative, whether it's low or high. So let's imagine that it's a weather pattern. So I would like to hear from you so that we can connect better with each other. Jazakallah khair. You can use your chat box to chat with me. Okay. So Fiaza says that you feel bit foggy, is it? Right. Great. How about others? How do you feel today? How is your weather pattern today? So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just for an interaction. You can just tell me how do you feel. Right. Okay. We have got a couple of answers. So, anyways, I feel that we don't have to judge our feelings. So, we're going to talk a lot about our feelings today, our thoughts and our behavior and our mental health in a very different way. Rather than speaking in a very typical way, I thought that let's make this session little different. So, we're going to talk about our feelings in a very different way. So, I'm going to use some terms. So, that's what I thought. Even rather than naming it as positive or negative emotions, I thought let's make it a weather pattern. So that's why I ask you to name your feelings in form of a weather pattern, but it's okay. We can explore further. So this particular session is going to be about mental health isn't a weakness. So being a mental health professional, I feel that mental health is highly important, but nowadays we could see that there are a lot of stigma attached to mental health issues. So we're going to talk about these mental health issues, and we're going to debunk the myths and the stigma. So in that way, let's just to begin. I think my slides are not moving, is it? Okay, it's moving now. So I would like to ask you that you can see something on the screen, isn't it? So you can see this picture of a backpack. So can someone tell me what is the nature of a backpack? What is the nature of it? What is the nature of a backpack? Okay, great. So it carry goods, is it? Usually we carry books. It carries books, clothes, you know, and also a lot of stuff. But the weight is mostly invisible. The nature of a backpack is the weight is mostly invisible. The weight is mostly misinterpreted. So it seems very small. So how we perceive a backpack is usually not very heavy. So what I feel is mental health issues are also like backpacks. It carries a lot of struggles, it carries a lot of hidden burden, but it's not visible outside. For an example, like a backpack. So backpack, the weight, the heaviness is mostly invisible. But when you put on, you will feel the heaviness, and you can feel that it's quite heavy, and sometimes it's unbearable as well. Same way, mental health issues are also invisible and it's hidden. Mostly, it has a lot of struggles attached with, which is not visible outside. So, mental health issues are misinterpreted, misunderstood. So, people think that mental health issues are not important because it's invisible. When you hear the term mental strength, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Maybe you could think that calmness or resilience, positivity. So there are a lot of positive things attached to mental strength. But how about mental weakness? People would not like to talk about mental weakness because of the terms attached to the term. The negative terms which is attached to the topic actually brings lot of negativity along with the topic itself. So people are not very friendly about talking about it. So usually they think that mental health issues are not accepted. The reason why people feel that mental health issues are not accepted and it's not good to talk about because of the negative terms attached with it. When we talk about mental strength, we can imagine people with a lot of power, resilience, positive energy. But when we talk about mental weakness, people usually think about somebody who is weak, insane, mad, somebody who's out of mind. So these terms gives a negative perception on mental health. We would consider mental health is also like a muscle that you're trying to build. Just imagine that you're trying to build a muscle. You have to go through a lot of struggles when you have to build a muscle. Yeah, you have to carry weight and you have to put on, lot of efforts. But through that, you're building your muscles. So mental health is also like you're building a muscles. You have to go through a lot of struggles in order to overcome the struggles. If you don't go through the struggles, obviously you won't be able to overcome that struggle. So mental health is also like a muscle. It's not visible outside. It's not at all visible outside. It's very abstract. But we need a lot of struggles and we go through a lot of hardships to build it. So these hardships are not visible. So people have got a very negative perception about mental health. I would say it's much more better than before, but still we could see that only 30 to 40% of people who have mental health issues are coming forward to take treatment. So it clearly shows that 60% of people who have mental health issues are fearful about the stigma. They're very fearful about the stigma and they don't want to show up that they have a mental health issue because they think having a mental health issue is a weakness. The reason why they think in that way because the negative terms attached with mental health issues. So today I'm here to give you a very good understanding about the causes of mental health issues and why we have to look at mental health positively. Let's imagine that we have physical immunity. We have physical immunity. So time to time we get physical issues sometimes, right? We get fever, cold, sometimes other diseases, which helps us to strengthen our immune system. For example, in case if we catch up with a cold, it means that there's a virus or maybe a bacteria has got into our body. So the immune system fights against it and it tries to somehow get out of it. Now the process of increasing our immunity is necessary for a good health. Mostly this is visible. Why it's visible? Because of the physical health issues that we go through. Sometimes we have fever or we have vomitation, we have diarrhea. Yeah, and also we can have, other physical issues, which is mostly visible. So likewise, we have a physical immune system. We should also understand that we have a mental immune system. This mental immune system helps us to rebuild our mental health. So this immune system basically is like a process. When you get an infection, you heal by yourself. Same way, when you get negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative emotions, you try to heal by yourself. There are times that you get infections, you can't heal by yourself, so you go to the doctor. So if the doctor prescribes medicines or the doctor will guide you with some test to know about the issue better, and the doctor will guide you according to that. In the same way, when we have a mental health issue, sometimes it heals by ourselves. But there are times that we can't heal it by ourselves. So we need professional help. We need to talk it out. We need to get help or we need to consult somebody in order to get out of it. Whereas this has been attached with a lot of negative stigma where people try to avoid talking about mental health issues or going to a mental health professional. The reason why people avoid going to a mental health professional because they think that this is not very important. Sometimes they think that they're able to manage with it by themselves, but when they fail, they consider because of the negative stigma attached with mental health issues, they avoid consulting a professional. So, what's important here is there are some common myths about mental health issues. So, today I'm going to talk about these common myths about mental health issues and how we are going to debunk these myths about mental health issues. Okay. Um, so, I thought I will ask you as a question what are the facts here and what are the myths here? So, what do you think? Only weak people struggle with mental health issues. This is a very common myth that we get to hear. Mostly we get to hear that only weak people struggle with mental health issues. But the fact is, the mental health issues are not about the character. It's not about the personality. It's not about how strong you are. It's about the problem that we are facing within ourselves. Like how we face physical issues, we could also face mental issues. As I told you, like we have a physical immune system, we also have a mental immune system, which is 100% fair, right? Because as humans, we have physical component and mental component. So if you're physically getting sick, no doubt that you will mentally get sick as well. So it's not about a person's strength, it's not about a person's personality, or it's not about a person's complex or a context, or about other factors. Because most of the time we could see mental health issues are also caused by biological factors. I'm going to talk about that next. So it's a myth. Only weak people struggle with mental health is a myth. And talking about feeling is a sign of weakness. People think that talking about mental health is a sign of weakness. Come on, when you break your legs, what would you do? You'll go talk about it, you will consult a doctor, you will get help. Yeah, probably in order to get sympathy, you might tell everyone that, oh my God, I have a fracture in my leg. I have a fracture in my leg. Yeah. So because you want people to sympathize you must be going around and telling that I'm having a fracture. Even you will use it as a reason to escape from your responsibilities as well. So when you are talking about your mental health, when you're talking about your physical problems very openly, why can't we talk about our physical, why can't we talk about our mental issues? Why do we have to feel that it's a weakness? So come on, it's not a fact, it's a myth again. If you can talk about your physical problems openly, why would you have to think that talking about your mental issues as a sign of weakness? People with mental illnesses can't work or study effectively. We have seen celebrities, callers, yeah, even scientists, they have had mental health issues. Still, they have done their job properly. Sometimes they have done much more better than people who are very normal. People who doesn't have any issues, they have done their work and they have succeeded in their life and they have achieved success. So we can't say that people with mental illnesses can't work or study effectively. People with mental illnesses still can work if they get appropriate treatment and support. People with mental health conditions, they can be productive because many high functioning CEOs, artists, scientists, we have seen people with mental health issues. So that's also a myth again. Mental illness is a rare. Mental illness is rare. People think that mental illness is very rare. But according to WHO, the recent study shows that 4 in 1, 1 in 4, 1 in 4, 1 in 4 people tend to get mental health issues at least once in a while, once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime, at least they get mental health issues. So 1 in 4 has become very common now. So let's imagine we have around 10 participants. So how about the ratio? It means that 2 people could have mental health issues. So we don't have to feel very reluctant talking about it because it has become very common and we need to accept that. Yes, I do get cold and I do get fever. I do get gastritis very commonly. In the same way, I could also get anxiety, I could also get depression, I could also get other mental health issues, which has become very common now. And especially after COVID, we saw a drastic increase, we saw a drastic raise in mental health issues. Mental health issues became very, very common. Then we have another myth that children and teenagers don't experience mental health issues. Is it true? What do you guys think? Children and teenagers don't experience mental health issues. What do you think? Not true. The reason why it's not true, guys, because it says there's a research which says that half of the mental health conditions begin by age 40. Half of the mental health issues begin by age 40. So even very young children can show early warnings of mental health concerns like anxiety, depression. Recently, I had a client and she was just 6 years. She came to me with the complaint that she always gets this feeling of nausea when she goes to school. Nausea, loose motion, and sometimes dizzy. So the mother told me that the little one is refusing to go to school. And mostly she's complaining with this when she goes to school. So when I inquired the mother and when I spoke to the child, I realized that the child has developed childhood anxiety. Just imagine children below 5, below 10, above 10, teenagers, adulthood, anyone can go through mental health issues. So can we imagine a child not to have cold, fever, or physical health issues? It's silly, right? So we can't expect a child not to have physical health issues. In the same way, how can we expect a child not to have mental health issues? Obviously, children, teenagers, even adults, young adult, in late adulthood, in any time of your lifespan, you can go through mental health issues, which is very, very, very common, and you can face it throughout your lifetime. And we have also heard people telling that people with mental illnesses are violent and dangerous. Yeah, that is the portrait that we have always seen. The culture, the society, the media has portrayed to us that people who have mental health issues are very violent. I remember one of my students asking me, how do you differentiate people with mental health issues and not? How do you differentiate people with mental health issues and not? I didn't have an answer to say that. I had to take a lecture to her. I told her it's not possible because there are different types of mental health issues. Psychosis, they have visible symptoms. Neurosis, they don't have visible symptoms. People who have neurosis, conditions like anxiety, depression, they are like you and me. Even I could have, even you can have. It's not visible outside because of their symptoms, because the symptoms differ from one another. Each condition shows up with different set of symptoms. So we can't tell that exactly. So people with mental illnesses are not violent all the time. They become violent at times when they have certain conditions. Because they are mostly the victims of violence. I would say that they are mostly the victims of violence. They go through a lot of violence. That's the fact. Sometimes they go through abuses, physically, emotionally, mentally. Because of that, they become a victim. We make them aggressive. We make them aggressive. That's the fact. They are not dangerous at all. Have you ever considered someone who is having a physical health issue as a dangerous person? Not really. So how could we think a person who has a mental health issue as a dangerous person? Which is not practical to think of. The final myth that we get to hear all the time: mental health problems are a personal weakness and people should snap out of it. Being a professional, being a psychologist, I get to see lots of mental health patients. Mostly, I get to hear their parents saying, "This is nothing. It's all in their head. Tell her not to think unnecessarily. Tell her just tell her to just come out of her negative thoughts. Tell her that she doesn't have to think about this all the time." This is what I get to hear from their guardians and parents. But let me ask you something. If they could do that, why aren't they doing it? If they could do that, why aren't they doing it? The reason why they aren't doing it because they are struggling inside, and they are struggling as much as possible to overcome, but still they can't because it's a disorder. It's an issue which they can't deal by themselves. So there are certain physical illnesses which would cure them by themselves. There are some issues you may need not to take medicines also. Medicines are not necessary, it's not essential. But there are some issues where you have to consult the doctor and get some medicines. The mental health issues are also the same. Sometimes you have a negative thought. You can just overcome your negative thought like that, just like that. You have a negative feeling, and when you do something, your feelings will elevate and you will be able to overcome your positive. You will be able to overcome your negative emotions. But it's not the case always. Sometimes people who have mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, OCD, schizophrenia, bipolar, where they actually need medicines and professional help, therapy, and professional support, medicines are essential. So it's not a weakness that they can't come out, or it's not a weakness that it's not a weakness attached to their personal self. It's actually a problem that they're facing inside. Probably they would have tried their best to overcome, but they would have failed in all the attempts. So we need to understand that mental health problems are not a personal weakness. It's not a personal weakness. Just imagine why there are a lot of myths attached to mental health issues. Just because it's not visible to others, just because we can't see it, doesn't mean that it does not exist. It does. The only thing is, people are not ready to be very open about mental health issues. Still, we could see, usually I see when guardians or when parents bring their kids, or when the spouses bring their spouses for treatment, they usually say that, I think she's mad, I think she's weak, I think she's out of her mind, I don't know what's happening, or maybe she's possessed. That also we get to hear a lot. She's possessed. Yeah. Or maybe she doesn't know what she's doing, she's insane. So still we could hear these terms because the awareness is very less among the public. According to psych, sorry, my slide is stuck. There is a huge prevalence of mental health issues among the society because we are humans. As humans, we have mental health struggles. But this is not a sign of weakness. So I would like to introduce this biopsychosocial model, which fascinated me all the time. So this particular model says that three different factors are integrated to understand mental health issues. So it says that it's a biopsychosocial model. You can understand that the bio component is also there. Psychosocial component is also connected together. So why people have mental health issues? It's not because somebody is weak, or it's not because somebody's personality is weak, or it's not because they can't handle their thoughts. It's basically because of these three key factors. So I would like to introduce this model, and I would like to tell you that what are these key factors which contributes to psychological problems, mental health issues. So number one, biological factors. Biological factors plays a very key role in mental health issues. For example, genetics. Mostly people with mental health disorders, we could see that they have a genetical background. When we cross-check their background, we come across a history of mental health issues. So genetics is one of the major reasons of mental disorders. And also we come across a lot of imbalances in brain chemicals. Brain chemical imbalances and hormonal imbalances as well. It's also linked with our physical health. When you don't get proper sleep, when you don't get proper diet, when you don't get proper exercises, this can also cause mental health issues. Just imagine how does your body feel when you're stressed. Now I remember a few days back, I had a very stressful day. So from morning 9 to 4, I've been having lectures continuously. While I was going to sleep in the night, I could feel tremors. I could feel tremors. That was usually I relax before I go to sleep. I do relaxation, I do breathing before I go to sleep because I am, I get stressful because I am doing one of the most stressful jobs in the world. Being as a psychologist is not easy. So it's quite stressful. So I have a habit of doing relaxation in the night. But that day I had to skip because I was quite busy. So I remember that I was having tremors. It was very difficult for me. It was a very long day and continuously I was having sessions. It was about more than 7-8 sessions at a stretch. I was feeling very, very difficult. You won't believe. This is my experience. The next day morning, I was sick. Next day morning, I was sick. I woke up with a fever. Before that, I was all okay. I was all okay. But continuously, for 1 week, I have been quite busy and I have been quite stressful with my work. So I woke up with fever and I couldn't do anything. So actually, I had to take a day off. So I think it was my body which was communicating to me that you were quite stressful and you need a break. So I took a break actually. So the whole day I slept and, I was relaxing. I did not even take a single medicine, you won't believe, mashallah, alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah, I got over with fever. So then I realized I was quite stressful and this is my body's way of communicating to me that you need rest. So it's quite clear that there are a lot of biological issues. There are a lot of biological factors are connected with mental health issues. And your mental health is highly connected to your body. Mind commands and your body follows. Okay. So you can see the link. So why do you feel like that? Why do you feel very tired in your body when you're stressed? Because your mind is connected to your body. Okay. So it's pretty clear that the biological factors are contributing to mental health. So how could we consider that as a weakness of a person? Secondly, psychological factors. Your thoughts, your belief, your coping strategies. Yeah. Now let's say for an example, I have low self-esteem. When I think bad about myself, when I think that I'm not capable of doing something, I don't have good qualities, I'm not worthy, obviously I'm going to feel low, isn't it? I will feel low and I won't be able to put effort. So when I put minimal effort, my output is also going to be very minimal and low. So due to psychological issues, we go through mental health problems. Yeah. So now let's say for an example, I have a negative thought that I'm not good enough. So when I think that I'm not good enough, obviously it's not going to make me feel happy, isn't it? When I think I'm not good enough, can I feel happy? No, I can't feel happy. So when I think I'm not good enough, obviously that's going to make me feel depressed. Yeah. So my negative thoughts, but I am not the reason of my negative thoughts. It's my cognition. It's my belief system. Probably it's coming from my past. It's coming from my upbringing, it's coming from my environment, maybe because of the trauma that I've gone through in my life. All of these factors are contributing to my psychological health. Okay, probably the words that I've heard when I was small, probably the consequences that I have gone through because of my behavior, all that have contributed to my belief system. So my belief system has become negative because of my past experiences. So I am not responsible for that. I am not responsible for that. So how could I consider that it's my weakness? When I have low self-esteem, how could I consider that it's my weakness? I don't know from where did I gain. I don't know where did I go wrong. Probably I would have gained it in the journey, but I'm not aware of it. So there are a lot of psychosocial factors. Somebody would have abused me. Somebody would have emotionally abused me, neglected me, abandoned me. Because of that, I'm struggling today. And can I think that it's my weakness? And can I consider that as my fault? No. So psychosocial factors are also contributing to mental health issues. And the other side, we see social factors. Social factors. Family, culture, peer pressure, work pressure, a lot of things. Okay. So that is also another factor. Sometimes when people lack social support, when they don't have friends to talk it out, when they don't have a good support system, when they don't have family members to support, definitely they go through a lot of pressure. They go through stress. So recently I met a person and she's just an only child in the family. So she was telling me that she never had anyone to express her feelings with anyone. So her mother is also working, the father is also working. So she told me that she has never got anyone to express her feelings. So she has always suppressed her feelings. So that led to depression. So today she's depressed because she did not have anyone to support her. So our social factors are also very important. Let's imagine poverty. When you go through poverty, everything will be blue because you have to go through a lot of struggles. From eating to paying bills to maintenance, everything will become a burden to you. So when you go through constant stress, it will definitely lead to psychological issues. Even the cultural stigma. Sometimes you may have got psychological issues due to biological or psychological factors. But still, because of the stigma attached, we are reluctant to seek help. We are reluctant to approach professionals. And mental health support is quite expensive. So people have issues in seeking help, even though there are a lot of facilities. Still, getting a get in touch with a good professional is not easy. So definitely, because of social factors also, they go through mental health issues. Yeah. So it says that loneliness, social isolation can lead to depression. If you have at least 5 friends, you're 95% onto the safer side of getting depression. So it's pretty clear that these factors are affecting our mental health. So how could we stigmatize mental health? How could we attach a negative perception on mental health, whereas we are not responsible for the mental health issues? All these factors are responsible together. It's not only biological, it's not only social, it's not only psychological factors, all three factors together. It's as a whole. So as humans, we all go through these situations, and it's very, it's very common as a human. As a living creature, it's very common, and we are vulnerable. We are always vulnerable to go through these factors. So how could we judge an individual saying that it's their weakness or it's their problem to have a mental health issues? So I would like to tell you a real life story. I thought I will end my session with this real life story. So there was a girl who came to me before 5 years. So when she came to me, she was going through a lot of mental health issues. She was having low self-esteem. She had harmed herself so badly. So at that time, I remember she was above 120 kgs. So she was very fat and she has been bullied by her friends very badly. And her mother also had depression. Father was having some issues in his business, and they were going through a very hard time in life. So I remember she came to me saying that she's extremely depressed. She's extremely depressed. So the reason why she was depressed at that time, because she did not have health, and she was bullied, and she had low self-esteem. But she was very reluctant to talk it out. And after a program like this, she came forward and she told me what she was going through. Alhamdulillah, you won't believe. It's been 5 years now. Now she is only 60 kgs. Mashallah, she looks very pretty and very firm. And she is also a counselor. She's a psychology student and she's a counselor. I think seeking help and overcoming her problem helped her to regain herself. So she got help, she got therapy, and she regained herself. So she was able to overcome her low self esteem, depression, and self harming behavior. And Alhamdulillah, she regained herself. And mashallah, today she's practicing as a counselor. So it's important to understand that talking about it openly, helping others to talk about it openly, will definitely help us to um, debunk the myths about mental health and destroy the stigma attached to mental health. So, Jazakallah khair, and thank you so much for the opportunity once again. To put everything in a nutshell, we have spoken about what's mental health, we have spoken about the myths attached to mental health and what are the facts. And especially, we have spoken about biopsychosocial model, which will help us to understand mental health is not a weakness, it's our strength. Mental health is our strength. So we definitely need to focus on our mental health and meet our mental health, inshallah, in order to develop and attain our fullest potential. Jazakallah khair. Once again, thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. Have a great day, and please take care of your mental health and help people who are struggling alone to talk about their mental health issues openly and get help, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Hajara, for such an insightful and thought provoking presentation. We truly appreciate the time, effort, and wisdom you have shared with us today. Your expertise has provided us with invaluable knowledge on mental health and its importance
If you have
in
any questions, you can ask
development.
me.
At this
Feel
point, we
free
would
to
like to open the
ask me
floor for
questions.
the question and answer session. If you are watching on YouTube, please feel free to submit your questions in the live chat box. Dr. Hajara, we are having a question for you. Um, this is from the YouTube. How the question is, how do we take care of our own actions while also knowing mental health is a real struggle and not a weakness? Dr. Hajara, this question is for you. Dr. Hajara. Dr. Hajara, are you with us?
Dr. Hajra, we cannot hear you at all.
Dr. Hajra, I hope you are with us.
Okay, I think she might have some connection issues. Do we have questions? How many questions do we have for her?
We have a couple of questions here, and once she answers that, we'll be taking any questions about the IOU, the Cousin
Meantime,
Oh,
Campaign.
can we take questions from related to IOU until she
yes,
gets
Yes.
back,
that will be
inshallah?
better.
Yeah.
Yes, that will be better.
Sister Nazah, you can actually read out the questions related to IOU.
Are there any questions from any of the viewers? Are there any more questions? Hajara hasn't returned.
Okay, there's
Okay,
another
Sister,
question. Yes. Sister
yes,
Noor,
Sister
actually,
Basina,
there's a
you
question
can go
related
ahead.
to courses at IOU. So, would you like to answer that question, inshallah?
Yes. And we also have another question in the chat as well. Um, how to register to study in psychology IOU. You can join via the link. I'll be sharing the link in the chat box. And also for the qualifications, you can reach out to helpdesk at iou.edu.gm just to update about your last qualification so that they can guide you better on that. As for the courses, there are courses in Arabic, there are courses in business administration, in education, in IT, in Islamic economics and banking and finance, Islamic studies, psychology is there, diploma in Arabic is there, diploma in education is also there, bachelor's of arts in Islamic studies is there, bachelor of business administration is there, bachelor of education is there, bachelor of science in psychology is there, bachelor's in IT is there. So there are a couple of courses. There's also bridge to MA in Islamic studies. There is postgraduate certificate in education as well, PhD in Islamic sciences as well, and there is also IU Explorer course. That is not a degree program, but it is a course available on the platform. There is intensive Arabic program as well. Uh, there is another question. What about the fee? So the fee structures vary. There are categories as per the development, the country-wise development. You can have a look at that. Let me share the link in the chat box for the fee structure. All right, I'm just sharing the link for the fee structure at IOU in the chat box here.
And Sister Noor, we are having another question about IOU.
All
What is
right.
meant by community service?
Okay, so for the community service, in order to complete your degree program at IOU, you have a couple of hours to complete just to get your degree. And that is through different community service activities that you are doing in your community. So we have student committees also set up for the same reason, for the same reason, so that students are all in one single group. They are all present in one single group. If there is a sisters only student committee group, they're all divided into sisters and brothers as well. And then within that student committee, the members can participate in different activities. For example, today's event, all the students who have arranged this online event, everyone would be getting their community service hours as well, because they were actually in the co-host, as the host, as the co-host, as the moderators as well. So they get the hours based on the activity they are doing. So a lot of the students are also doing on-ground activities, like having flyer distributions at different masjids, having some booths that are set up as well, sharing IU's presentation within their halaqas. So all of that has some assigned hours. And once the students have reached 36 hours or more, they compile all of that and they submit it to me or to Sister Maha, the other student committee officer. And we then sign it for the students so that they are able to upload it on their portal and get their final certificates. So that is about community service, and it's for all the students. There are different hours based on the program you have chosen.
That
I
concludes
hope
everything, Sister Noor. Jazakallah khair for addressing these questions. Alhamdulillah, that was an amazing session. On behalf of the IOU Student Committee of Sri Lanka, I want to sincerely thank Dr. Hajra Saddam for sharing her expertise and valuable insights with us today. We hope this session has given...
Sister Nazin, sorry to interrupt. Do we have Dr. Hajara back?
She is with us.
Okay,
But
so do we
she's
have any questions for her?
Yes, but it looks like she's not available for answering, but she's still in the meeting.
Dr. Hajara, are you able to hear us?
She's muted.
Yeah, but I actually can't hear you. I was just listening to the YouTube video, but unfortunately, I can't hear you in Zoom. Am I audible to you?
Yes. Sister, you can type the question in the chat box on Zoom so that Sister Dr. Hajara can answer them.
Sure. There are more questions coming. We'll type in then, inshallah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, sister. Sister Nazeh, can you put forward the question?
Yes, Dr. Hajara, we have a question for you. How can families and communities make it easier to get professional help without shame? I repeat the question. How can families and communities...
Yeah, it would be great if you can type the
for...
questions in chat box. Then I can answer the questions.
Okay, sister, you can, I think, conclude because she has dropped again. Maybe she's having some internet issues. So inshallah, you can conclude.
Alhamdulillah, that was an amazing session. On behalf of the IOU Student Committee of Sri Lanka, I want to sincerely thank Dr. Hajra Saddam for sharing her expertise and valuable insights with us today. We hope this session has given you all a better understanding of how to cultivate mental health in students and the impact it can have on their success. If you have any further questions or would like more information about our upcoming events, please feel free to reach out to us or contact us directly.
Can you hear me now? I think I left the
Yes.
meeting accidentally and I was not in the meeting. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Am I audible to you now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Can you hear
Okay,
us?
great. Right. Okay, Alhamdulillah. I can hear you too. You can go ahead with the question, sister.
Yes. A question from one of our YouTube viewers. How can
Right.
families and communities make it easier to get professional help without shame?
Okay. Can I answer?
Yes, Simi.
Okay. So, Alhamdulillah, it's a great question. I would really appreciate that question because early identification, early identification is very much important in mental health issues. Family members and community members should have a very good awareness on mental health issues. So when you have a very good awareness on mental health issues, often the changes become very noticeable because even the behavioral issues, the thoughts or the feelings can reflect in their behaviors and actions. So if you can notice their behavioral change and identify it earlier, so we can encourage them to get help. That's one thing we have to focus on. And also, I would like to state that reducing the stigma by having open conversations about mental health issues. Now, nowadays, we could see that in families that we focus a lot on physical health issues. We focus on a good diet plan, good health behaviors, even exercising, no brushing teeth in the night. All these are being highly fostered within the family. But conversations about mental health and how to take care of mental health, what can be done to take care of mental health, has become very, very less. So, by having open conversations about mental health issues and how to overcome mental health issues, and if you can give them the message that mental health issues are not a struggle, it's not a weakness actually, it's a struggle that they go through, but it's not a weakness. So, if if the emotional support is given from the family, I would think that they can seek help better, and especially we can help them to get help before it gets worse. So we have to create a very positive attitude towards mental health issues. This can be done in the community by increasing awareness. So programs like this would be really helpful because people get to know about mental health issues better and they talk about it openly and they will share about their views. So which actually helps us to have open discussions on mental health issues. I hope you got the answer.
We have one more question for you,
Right.
Dr. Hajara. How do gratitude, patience, and trusting Allah help us with mental health? And when should we also go to a doctor?
Sorry, dear, I didn't hear the question because the line was quite breaking, I think. Can you please repeat it to me?
Okay, I will repeat. How do gratitude, patience, and trust in Allah help us with mental issues? And also, when should we go to a doctor?
Also,
When should we go to a doctor?
okay, that's a good question too. So now there are a couple of okay, I would like to state this first. I don't know whether how many of you have heard about positive psychology. So positive psychology has become very famous in the recent era. Positive psychology says that if you have gratitude, positive psychology consider gratitude as a positive emotion. So it says that when you have gratitude, you feel happy about your life, which helps you to develop positive emotions and avoid negative emotions. It means that we have a positive well-being. So it talks about positive well-being. So it's a very good that's one of the best answer that I can give you. Gratitude helps us to develop mental well-being. So when you trust Allah, when you trust the tawakkul of Allah, you will always feel grateful for what you have in your life. One of the major issues that we see with people who have depression, they can't be grateful for what they have. I can't say that they are not. I can't say that they are not. I would say that they can't focus on that. They are unable to focus on that. But when you have the trust in Allah, It gives you a sense of safety and control. In psychology also we say that when you have the sense of control in your life and the situation especially, your negative emotions become less and you feel less overwhelmed. Okay, so when you have the trust that there is someone to help me, there is someone to guide me, there is someone always with me, that gives the feeling that you're not alone as well. So when you feel this gratitude, one side you have a lot of positivity, because we all have something missing in our lives. We have something negative. We have something that we are missing. But if we focus on that something which we miss, we are going to feel very negative. But if we focus on what we have and what Allah has given us, and when we focus on Allah's plan, we are going to feel that we are not alone. So as I told you, under the social factors, that loneliness is one of the contribution to mental health issues. So it's pretty clear that you will not feel alone when you have the trust of Allah and when you have tawakkul. And definitely shukr will give you less pain. You will have problems, but you will not focus on that. Same way, you asked me patience, right? What is patience? In psychological terms, patience is healing. We say patience is basically healing. When you have patience, what does it mean? It means that you have acceptance. Psychology also talks a lot about acceptance. It says that when you accept your negative situation, when you accept your negative emotions, you actually feel better. For an example, okay, now it's raining. Now, if I sit and cry, oh my God, it's raining, I can't do any work. Why the rain is not stopping, and I am confined at home without going out. Just because you think like that, you're not gonna achieve anything. You're just gonna feel more frustrated and depressed, and you're going to feel devastated because you can't change the situation. But if you accept, oh, it's raining, and let me enjoy my life and adapt my situation, and let me move on with this rain, then you will feel happy. So that's what psychological acceptance says. I just gave you a very simple example to understand that. Okay. So patience is basically acceptance. So it also helps you to overcome. So I usually tell my students that psychology is Islam and Islam is psychology. That's the fact, to be honest. Yeah. So spiritual coping is very much needed. But there are situations where it goes beyond. You know, when the negative thoughts are like very critical and it's disturbing you. I would say when you go through extreme stress, so we call it distress, and if it's affecting your daily life and function, you have attempted so many times to deal with it, but you have failed. And if you feel that it's going beyond, you can't control by yourself or with the support of your family, then it's good time to approach a professional and get help. I hope you would have got an answer for that. Any other
Jazakallah
questions,
khair,
sister?
doctor.
Barakallah.
Jazakallah khair, doctor, for answering the questions. Thank you all for joining us today, and a special thanks once again to Dr. Hajara Saddam for her insightful and powerful presentation. We look forward to seeing you at our future events, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum assalam.